Hi Rajesh. Okay, guys. So we are talking about the collection so far, and we have seen the collection uh, framework so far, where we have studied about the different interfaces available under the collection framework and implementation classes of those interfaces. And we were talking about cursors used in collection. Why? Because for loop won't be able to iterate through your collection. Uh, why? What was the reason that we have already discussed in the previous session? Today, and also we have seen three cursors are there. Okay, in collection framework. First one is, sorry, three cursors we have seen. First one is enumeration, then iterator, and then list iterator. Okay, so these are the three cursors we were talking about, apart from which we have already studied iterator and list iterator, and we have discussed that what is meant by iterator and what is meant by list iterator. So far this is the discussion that we have went through. Okay, today we are going to talk about enumeration. Okay, enumeration. Now what is it actually? Okay, so it is also a type of cursor. Okay, type of cursor which is used to iterate over legacy classes of collection. Okay, understand this statement. So where you can use enumeration, okay, you cannot use enumeration for the classes which are not legacy classes of the collection framework. Now, which are the legacy classes of the collection framework that we have seen? Vector is a legacy class. Why? Because it is present from 1.0 version of the Java. So it is a legacy class. And stack is also a legacy class available in the collection framework. Okay, so for these legacy classes, Java have already designed a technique to iterate through. Okay, now what is meant by iterate? To read one by one. Okay, what is meant by iterate is to read one by one or write one by one. So one after another, when we are doing some operation, that operation is called as iterations. Okay, so here Java have identified that, okay, we have a vector class, which is a collection of elements, okay, in some particular order where indexes are there in a vector. Then we have a stack which follows a stack data structure. So Java have identified this kind of data structure. Vector and stack both are having different data structures, right? Okay, let me get the people in. Okay, so we are having different data structures over here. So Java have identified that, and they have created enumeration right from 1.0 version of the Java. Okay, 1.0 version of Java, they have created the enumeration. Now this enumeration is used to iterate only legacy classes. Okay, only legacy classes. Now what does it mean by only legacy classes? Means enumeration cannot be used on the classes which have been introduced by Java from its version 1.2 and above. Okay, so whatever classes are included in collection framework after 1.0 version of the Java, for those classes enumeration cannot be applied. Okay, so this is what enumeration is. Now let us see how we can apply enumeration over the vector. So can you see this code? So let me quickly create one vector. Okay, that's a vector. V is equals to new vector. Okay, so quickly I'm going to create a vector over here, and let me import this. Okay, it's done. Now let me add some elements to it. Okay, maybe 1. So randomly I'm putting the data into it, and then maybe 3. Okay, and then 5, 2, and then 4. Okay, so these are the random numbers that I have inserted in the vector. Now let's apply enumeration over here. Okay, enumeration. Let's say E is equals to, now we had a iterator method, okay, to apply the iterator, right? We had a iterator method to apply the iterator, but in enumeration we have a elements method. Which method? Elements method. Okay, and its return type is enumeration object. Okay, can you see this elements method? Now where is this elements method? This method is under vector class. Okay, so let us quickly go through it. We can see over here in the vector class, can you see the code of elements method? Its return type is enumeration, and this is a public method. Okay, elements, and it doesn't take any argument. Okay, so this method we are going to use. So that is why we have used the elements method here. Okay, so to create the enumeration, we should call the elements method of the vector class. Okay, then next we have to apply the while loop again. Okay, in while loop we should write e dot has more elements. Okay, this is the method which will check whether vector is having data elements or not. Okay, if data element is present, data elements are present in the vector, in that case, it is going to return true, otherwise it will return false. Okay, the next, what is our task is to display the elements, let's say. Okay, display the elements. So how we can display the elements? E dot next element is the method to fetch the element from vector. Okay, to fetch the element from vector. Then let's try to execute this one. Okay, so here you will see that all of the records of the vector are displayed over here. Can you see this? All of the records are displayed one by one. So this next element method is calling the element, okay, from the vector, or fetching the element from the vector and updating itself to the next element of the vector. And has more elements method is going to check whether there are more elements available in the vector or not. So using all these three methods we can achieve the enumeration for vector or stack. Okay, same thing can be applied over the stack also. Okay, okay, so enumeration can be applied over the stack. And see, you can see the data elements are displayed over here also. Okay, so this is the enumeration. So what are the methods under the enumeration? Let us list them down. Okay, methods. First method is elements. Okay, first method is elements. This method is used to create enumeration instance. Okay, and second method is has more elements. Has more elements. Okay, in iterator we had a method has next. Okay, but what is the method over here? Has more elements. In iterator we had a method has next. Okay, which method was there? Has next. And in iterator what was the method to get the element? Is next. Okay, but here we have has more elements and next element, so you should keep in mind this. So this method will check whether collection has more elements in it. Okay, the next method is next element. Okay, now this method, what this method is going to do, this method will fetch the element from collection. Okay, now I am using the general word collection for just for the sake of vector and stack. Okay, so you should be very specific while using them. So enumeration can be applied over the legacy classes. Okay, and you cannot apply it on some other classes. Let's say array list is introduced in 1.2 version of the collection version of the Java. Okay, when array list was introduced, 1.2 version of the Java. So if I try to apply enumeration over array list, then what will happen? Let's see. Okay, can you see here? It is showing me elements method is not there. Okay, elements method is not there. The method elements is undefined for the type array list. Means there is no such method elements in an array list. मतलब array elements method कहाँ पर present है? सिर्फ और सिर्फ वेक्टर और स्टैक के अंदर कैसे? ऑब्वियसली वेक्टर से जाती है ना, क्योंकि स्टैक उसका चाइल्ड क्लास है. तो हमने देखा था इनहेरिटेंस में कि चाइल्ड क्लासेस में पेरेंट क्लास की सारी मेथड्स प्रेजेंट होती है. ओके, दिस इज सिंपल इनफ, कुछ भी डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. सिर्फ आपको डिफरेंस इतना ध्यान में रखना है कि इन्यूमरेशन कैन बी अप्लाइड ओवर द legacy classes of the collection only. Okay, only. Next thing here to observe is enumeration can be used to fetch record or let's say element from collection. Okay, enumeration can only be used, okay, only I'm using the word only be used to fetch elements from the collection. Okay, we cannot remove element using enumeration. This is the next difference that we have. But using iterator and list iterator, you can remove the elements from the collection. Why? Because there are methods like remove, okay, in the iterator and list iterator, using which obviously you can remove the element from the collection. Okay, so this is the difference between enumeration and iterator. So let us quickly write down the difference between enumeration and iterator and list iterator. Okay, so we'll try to put all the differences between all of them. So whatever differences we have, we'll put them down here. Difference between enumeration, iterator, and list iterator. Okay, now can you see over here? Enumeration is also an interface. Okay, so all of these three are interfaces. Okay, so let me quickly write down the table over here. Okay, this is the table. I need to pull it down a bit. Okay. Okay. So first of all, I need to write a serial number over here. So you guys have to tell me what are the differences, right? You guys have to tell me what are the differences between them. Then this one is enumeration, then iterator, and then list iterator. Okay, these are all three interfaces available. So what we are going to do is Okay. Okay. So tell me the first difference between them. Enumeration, iterator, and list iterator. Tell me the first difference between all of them. So you should start with the very basic difference. That is, it is introduced in 1.0 version of the Java, right? It is introduced in version 1.0 of Java. When iterator was introduced, in which version of the Java iterator was introduced?
1.2.
1.2, right? Introduced in version 1.2 of Java, right? What about list iterator? What about list iterator?
Same, I guess, 1.2.
Same, okay. Introduced in 1.2 version 1.2 of Java, okay. This is where they are introduced. Okay, tell me the second difference between them.
In enumeration, we can use elements method. Iterator can use has next method. The list iterator also use has next method as well as has previous method, next method.
Right, but enumeration instance can be created using the elements method. This is the first point which was correct. Okay, instance of enumeration can be created using elements method, right? Elements method. So for what you can create the instance, vector as well as stack, right? Okay, iterator का instance कैसे बनाएंगे? How we can create the instance of iterator? Using which method?
Iterator method.
Iterator method, right? Exactly. And how we can create the list iterator? Instance of list iterator?
Using list iterator method.
List iterator method, right? Okay, there is a method called list iterator. Okay. Sorry, next. What is the next point? What is the next difference?
Enumerator iterate only legacy classes.
Okay.
Not for
It
others.
can iterate, exactly right. Iterate only legacy classes like vector and stack. Okay. And where iterator can be applied? It can iterate what? Any collection. Okay. Iterator can be used to iterate over any collection. It can be used to iterate over any collection. Okay. मतलब हम वेक्टर पे भी स्टैक पे भी इटरेटर चला सकते हैं. ओके, वेक्टर और स्टैक के लिए तो सेपरेट इन्यूमरेशन तो है ही है, बट वी कैन आल्सो यूज इटरेटर फॉर द वेक्टर एंड स्टैक, आल्सो फॉर whatever collections we have For all of them, we can use iterator. Okay, list iterator. List iterator. We have seen the difference. What is the difference between list iterator and iterator? We have talked about it, right? Tell me. It can iterate every collection. Okay. It can iterate only, it can iterate only list type of collections. Okay, wherever list is used at that collection, for that collections only we can use list iterator. देखो इसके नाम में ही इसका मीनिंग है, list iterator means which will be used to iterate list. Got it? And iterator means which can be used to iterate anything. Enumeration means which can be used to iterate only legacy classes of the collection. Okay, now tell me the next difference. It can only read, right? Exactly. Okay, it can only read. Enumeration can be used to read the elements from the collection only. Okay, you cannot remove the element, you cannot delete the element using enumeration because there is no remove method in the enumeration. Okay, but iterator, tell me. It can be used to read as well as write the collection. Means we can use to read as well as to write the collection. Okay, any collection. Iterator can be used to remove the element also. Okay, we can delete the element also. Read and write. Read. Okay, we should mention the delete. Read, write, and remove the element. It can be used to read, write, and remove the element from the collection. Okay, it can only read element from collection. Okay, next. What about list iterator?
List it can traverse reverse only, reverse and forward only. Something like that.
This point is about reading, writing, and deleting the element, right?
Yes.
So it can be used to read, write, and remove element from collection. Okay, so obviously you can use it to read as well as to delete the element from collection, list iterator. Okay, now what kind of movement all this will be having? Enumeration can read in a forward direction, right? It can read in forward direction. Okay, can numeration be used to read in a reverse direction? Can we use enumeration to read in a reverse direction?
No.
No. Okay, so its movement will be only in forward direction, right? What about iterator?
Iterator also forward direction.
Okay, it can read in forward direction only. Okay, what about list iterator?
Yes, it can be backward.
It can be used to read in a forward as well as in reverse direction. Okay, it can be used to read in forward as well reverse direction. Okay, did you get this difference? Okay, please take a screenshot of this so that you guys will have the difference with you. Obviously, I'm going to share this document with you people also. Okay, but before taking the screenshot, one more point I need to highlight over here, and that is what are the methods, list of methods used in enumeration. Tell me the list of methods used in enumeration. First method. Elements. Okay, what is the next?
Has more method and next method.
Has more elements. Okay, and next? Which one is the next method?
Next element.
Next element, exactly. Okay, next element method. Now tell me what are the methods used in iterator?
Has next and next.
First iterator. Okay, then
Has next.
next, and then
Has next. And remove.
Okay, what about the list iterator?
Has previous. Has next.
List iterator, and then has next. Okay, then has
Previous.
previous, and then
Remove method.
next. Okay, and then remove. Okay, we left the remove method over here, so we have the remove method. So these are not only 4 methods. Okay, there are so many methods available in the iterator, list iterator, and enumeration, but we are talking about the basic and foremost important methods of all of this. Okay, so let me just quickly cancel this one. Okay, now you can take a screenshot of this. I'll share this document with you people in a group, but you will have extra backup of everything. Okay. Taken?
Yes.
Great. Now, this is all for the day.